Hello everyone, Jackie and Telling Me Fly Fish. Out today. I've had an email this morning of a chap called Dan. Sorry, I can't remember his surname. But he was requesting a video on fishing the Upstream Nymph. He wanted me to show the whole setup and how I fish and present the fly whilst fishing. I'm going to go through the outfit, explain why I've set it up this way, get in the river, make a few casts, see if we can get a few. Starting with the rod, it's a 8.5 foot 4-weight rod. This is a prototype. They're in production as we speak and they will be on the website. I use a shorter rod for this style of fishing because you need to be accurate and you're going to be making a lot of casts all day long. So you want an ultralight setup that's still got a little bit of backbone for casting bigger weighted flies and playing fish. So yeah, 8.5 foot rod, 4-weight, as simple as it gets. The reel doesn't really matter, but one thing I will say, a lot of videos they say a reel is just to hold the line. It's not. You need to balance the outfit that you're fishing. It needs to be balanced at the point where you hold the rod, otherwise it can act like a bit of a counterweight and it can kick back and bounce, or the rod can feel too tip heavy if the reel is too light. Again, it's not a balanced outfit, and that is what you need for it to be most efficient. The line is the finesse line that I've designed for Telling Me Fly Fish. Presents well, but lands very delicate. Even when nymphing, you want to present very, very delicately. The last 6 foot of that is heavily greased. Makes it ultra slick and it floats much higher on the surface because the tip of the line is acting as the indicator. For bright sunny days, I also have the indicator finesse line, and the coating has a bright orange section from the last 6 inches. So it's indicator which is internal to the fly line. It's just clean, slick, and it's the most efficient way for this style of fishing. Because I know a lot of guys splice bits of line and tie bits of line onto the end of the fly line, but it affects casting and it affects how it presents, which to me is no good. As for leader, I've not got a tapered leader on this outfit. I've got a level length of 3 pound fluorocarbon. I use fluorocarbon for 2 reasons. One, it takes on water and sinks. And 2, it's quite resistant to, if you catch, it's got good abrasion resistance. So if you catch any rocks or snags, you can get your flies back and also not damage the line as easy, causing a weak point. And I use this. I don't know if you can see that. This is the Drennan fluorocarbon. Rated 3 pound, but when I've tested it, it's actually more 4.5 pound. When I designed the tapered leaders, which I've done, I have been playing around with tippet, but up until now I've not made any improvements on what that is. That is a very light, reliable material. It's strong, it's reliable, and it's got good knot strength. But I'm going to get in the river, and all I'm going to do, is as simple as it gets, is cast upstream in the channels and the runs where I think the fish are. The fly will turn over, sink, because I've got a 2.5mm tungsten bead on the fly, which I don't know if you can see that. I don't like to go any heavier than 2.5mm when using tungsten, because you get to the point where it's that heavy, it's not a natural drift. And I know a lot of the professionals get a little bit touchy and criticise me a lot when I say things like that, but once you get past a certain weight, the drift is far from natural, let me tell you. But yeah, what will happen is I'll cast upstream, everything will turn over straight, the fly will sink, the leader will sink, because the tip of the line is heavily greased. That will float nice and high on the surface. And all I'm going to do is track it back towards me, not implementing any drag, just keeping in contact. If a fish takes, the tip of the line will dart away or shoot under. It's as simple as it gets, and it's an amazing way of nymphing. But I'll get in the river, see how we get on. Right, I'm in position. The river's still high and it's carrying a little bit of colour. Just fining off the back of a flood. And this is a perfect time to fish nymphs because all that high turbulent water washes out a lot of the nymphs from under the rocks, washing them all downstream. So the amount of food coming down should be relatively high. But I'm going to make a few casts along the pool. Just as I said, casting upstream. Single nymph, that's all. As simple as it gets. Just going to check the leader sinks, but the line floats, because that is my indicator. You don't need to be adding bungs and bits of foam or tying in thick pieces of line to the end of the fly line. I'll make a few casts, track the line back, and we'll see how we get on. Get some line off. Don't miss the cast, too far to start. And I'm just going to track it back. As simple as it gets. Every couple of casts. Extend the line. And all you're doing is keeping a close eye on the tip of that line. There we go. Second cast. Hey. Yeah. Second cast and we've got one. Wet your hands for handling these little fish. Just a small one, but a nice one. Woohoo! Getting back. It does not get any easier. It does not need overcomplicating, because remember, it is only fly fishing. Often, once I've caught a fish, I'll take a few steps further up the pool, because often any fish sat with that one can be spooked by the commotion. We'll make another cast. There we go. That's 2 fish hooked and 3 casts. I know Euro nymphing is all the rage at the moment, but people have forgotten this method. And on its day, you can catch what feels like every fish in the pool. Another absolutely stunning fish. Barbel sucks, don't do him any harm. Luckily, they're getting bigger. Off he goes. Again, I've just moved up again. No point in wasting too much time in one spot, just keep covering water. The aim is to get as many fish as possible to see that fly. There we go. Like I'm saying more often, that first cast in a spot is everything. If there's a fish there feeding, they often will not refuse food. Calm down this one. Sometimes if they're a bit lively, just turn the fish upside down. will disorientate them slightly and they will calm down. There he is. Another stunning example. But yeah, it's a forgotten method, this upstream nymph, but I absolutely love it. It can catch you a lot of fish, and I mean a lot of fish on its day. Just moving upstream again. Make sure you're covering this water very efficiently. Try down the inside. There we go. Lively fish in this colder water. The season's moving on fast. Yeah, another nice one. Small one, we'll get him straight back. Them small fish are toothy little critters. They're chewing the fly feeders. Up again. Just keeping the camera rolling. Playing it in real time so you know how it is. Moved up again, same drill as before. Start off down this inside seam. And then all I'm going to do is inch my way across the pool. There we go. A lively one. Sweet! Definitely a lively one, this chap. After a flood as well, you'll notice it'll bring a lot of fresh fish into the pool. People don't realise how much brown trout migrate up and down rivers. Forceps on this one. Only a barbless hook. Just another little sprat, as I call them. Off he goes. What I will do, after I've been fishing, reapply some grease. In fly fishing, Michelin grease can be a very helpful thing to have with you. Every session I'll apply it to the tip of the line just to make everything that much slicker and clean. Yeah. Redress the fly. I don't know if you can see on camera. That fluctuate. I don't know if you can see on camera.